For those who don't know, my name is Cameron. And whenever I get into a taxi, the taxi driver always says to me, "Ooh, Cameron Diaz." Why? I don't know. Probably because she's the most famous Cameron ever to exist. Now when this last happened, it got me thinking, what happened to Cameron Diaz? We never hear about her anymore. She's never in any movies anymore. So where the hell did she go? Where did she disappear to? I'm 29, so I grew up with Cameron Diaz as an icon. She's been entertaining audiences for almost 3 decades. She was born 30th of August 1972, making her currently 50 years old. She grew up in Long Beach and attended Long Beach High School. Interestingly enough, she actually went to the same school as Snoop Dogg and allegedly once purchased weed from him. At 16, she was scouted by a modelling agency. She met photographer Jeff Dunners at a party where he asked to talk to her parents about representation. Shortly after, she signed with Elite Model Management, one of the top tier agencies in the business. Elite represents models such as Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford and Heidi Klum. After that, it wasn't long before Cameron Diaz was popping up in commercials and campaigns for the likes of Coca-Cola, Levi's and Calvin Klein. She was even on the cover of 17 magazine, and that was all before she was 18. Now when she was 19, which was in 1992, still aspiring to be the world's next top model and well on her way, she met a photographer named John Rutter who took some saucy photos of Cameron which would later come back to haunt her. I guess this was her breaking away from being a young teenage model into being an adult model. She wanted to be taken seriously as an adult and so was doing more adult-y type shoots, I guess. These photos included Cameron posed in leather boots and fishnet stockings in a warehouse. At one point she even held a chain attached to a male model's neck. She wore a top and a black vest in some photos which were published in some European magazines at the time. And at some points she was completely topless. These are the photos that will come back to haunt her. John hung on to these photos and later, when she became a big movie star, he tried blackmailing her for $3.5 million, giving Diaz 2 days to pay him before he shot them to prospective buyers for a campaign timed to coincide with the 2003 release of her film Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. Cameron was having none of this. She said, "Nope, I ain't getting blackmailed, not today, not tomorrow, not ever," and she sued John and took him to court, where she says amongst many things that she's not ashamed of the topless photos taken early in her career and that it's more about the violation. John clapped back and said he was only offering her first right of refusal, not trying to blackmail her. I believe there was like 10 or so photos and even a video from this shoot that happened 10 years earlier, and that Cameron Diaz's signature was forged on the release forms. Cameron actually ended up winning the case and John was sentenced to 3 years and 8 months in prison. But back to her journey in the early days and how she got a start in movies. This was back in the early 90s when she secured the lead female role for the blockbuster movie which was indeed The Mask, to which she had no acting experience prior to that. New Line, who produced the movie, approached the modelling agency Elite because they shared the same building together. They were looking for recommendations. Elite recommended Cameron Diaz, whose agent promptly enrolled her in acting and dance classes. Around that same time, the creator of the Mask comic, because it was a comic book before it was a film, Mike Richardson, and the producer of the film, Robert Engelman, saw Diaz on a runway and it was secured. The Mask ended up making $350 million worldwide on an $18 million budget. And everyone in Hollywood wanted a piece of that Cameron Diaz. She ended up being booked for all sorts, mainly rom-coms, which were all very successful. In 1998, we had There's Something About Mary. 2000s, we had Charlie's Angels, Shrek, The Sweetest Thing, The Holiday, and What Happens in Vegas, as well as many others. 2010s, we had films like Bad Teacher, The Other Woman, Sex Tape, and Annie. For a period of time, she held the title of the world's highest paid actress. For Shrek 1, she earned about $3 million and then more from the film's back end. For Shrek 2, she earned around $10 million, and for Shrek the Third, she earned around $30 million. Charlie's Angels 1, she got $12 million. Charlie's Angels 2, she got $20 million. Now for Bad Teacher, she got $1 million and a percentage of the film's gross ticket sales, which ended up making her around $42 million. The money from that movie earned her the status of the highest paid actress over 40. Now in 2015, Cameron got married. She got married to Benji Maiden, who's the lead guitarist for the band Good Charlotte. They were introduced by Nicole Richie, who by the way is married to Benji's brother and bandmate, Joel Maiden. Richie, Joel, Drew Barrymore, they attended a small private Jewish ceremony held in the couple's home at Beverly Hills. Don't ask me why it was Jewish, by the way. None of them are Jewish, so why they had a Jewish wedding, I do not know. After that, she slowed down with the movies, and by slowed down, I do mean she entirely stopped and didn't do anything else. 2014 was her last movie, which was Anna, and then she got married in 2015. Then, it's just a blank space. Nothing. Up until 2018, when she finally admitted that she had indeed retired. Usually, an actor that's that prominent gets typecast. They play the same role over and over again until that role becomes out of fashion, and so the actor becomes out of fashion. That's why we always see these actors on such a spike and then an instant downfall. But Cameron, she did everything from romances to comedies to romantic comedies. She played the pretty blonde, but she also did more heart-hitting roles like in The Holiday. So that was never the case. Or they have a few movie flops in a row and studios stop booking them. But that never happened either. All of Cameron Diaz's last movies were successful, massively successful. And sources have confirmed that since 2014, she's been approached a bunch of times for movies that she could have easily brought upwards of $100 million in revenue for herself if she was working. But she turned them all down. She wasn't working. It appears that what happened was she just wanted to settle down with a new husband and start a more slow-paced lifestyle. She told InStyle, "I've given more than half my life to the public. I feel it's okay for me to take some time for myself now." In 2020, she told her pal Gwyneth Paltrow that she was at peace since walking away from such a lucrative Hollywood career. She also had a daughter in 2019 called Reddix via a surrogacy, so that is probably a good reason why she wanted to quit acting and focus more on her personal life. I mean, at the end of the day, Cameron Diaz is a very rich person, let's face it. She doesn't have to work. She has enough money to retire and do whatever she wants. She's been working since she was a kid. She doesn't have to do it, so she can quit whenever she wants anyway, without reason, with or without. It doesn't matter if she's having such a successful career. She can just stop it all and she'll be fine. And it's not just about the family life. She appears just to be taking the time to do what she wants to do at a rate that she wants to do it. She's co-authored 2 books, 2013's The Body Book, The Law of Hunger, The Science of Strength and Other Ways to Love Your Amazing Body, which technically was prior to her retirement, but could have been a deciding factor because she clearly enjoyed the process, because she wrote a second book in 2016, The Longevity Book, The Science of Aging, The Biology of Strength and The Privilege of Time. Diaz also started her own wine brand called Aveline, an organic wine company which started in 2019. However, with all that being said, there is now a Cameron Diaz return in the works. There is a comeback. She's coming back. She will be returning in a new Netflix film titled Back in Action alongside Jamie Foxx, which Jamie Foxx announced via a phone call of him and Cameron Diaz, which he had posted to Twitter in June 2022 in a caption that read, "Cameron, I hope you aren't mad I recorded this, but no turning back now. Had a call with the GOAT to bring back another GOAT, Cameron Diaz, and I are back in action. Our new movie with Netflix Films production starting later this year." This is that recording.
Hello.
Cameron, what up? It's Foxx.
Hey,
What's up?
thanks for calling. I'm so anxious right now. I'm like pacing the room.
How do you feel, though?
I feel excited, but I don't know how to do this, you know?
I understand. Listen, I got somebody on the other line that can help you with this. Can I click him in?
I would love that. Any
All
kind
right.
of tip I can get.
All right, good. All right, hold on a second. Hello, Tom, you there?
Jamie, what's up, man?
Chilling, man. Cameron, it's the GOAT.
What? Tom?
Hi, Cameron.
Oh my God, is this Tom Brady?
I was talking to Jamie, and he said you need a few tips on how to unretire. I was relatively successful at unretiring.
Honestly, exactly what I needed.
Well, guys, I'm going to jump off and let you guys chat it up.
Perfect. We'll take it from here.
Not much about the movie has been released yet. What we do know is that this is a Netflix original action comedy movie directed by the Horrible Bosses director Seth Gordon. So, Could this be a full-time unretirement for Cameron Diaz or just a one-off passion project? We really don't know, only time will tell. But I'll tell you one thing, and I'll tell you one thing right now, I am excited for the comeback, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but she's unretiring, and I guess, you know, watch this space.